up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador, and welcome to my channel, which is called The Top G Under 50 G's. Like I said, my name is Nate Almighty, and we're gonna get straight to it. This channel is for everyone who feels like they can't get women because they don't make enough money. I know what all the other guys say: you gotta get a Bugatti, you gotta get rich, you gotta be making over 100K, 150K. But I'm here to tell y'all, man, as someone who makes under 50K a year, just like most of you watching this video, I'm also somebody who's in the Hall of Fame as far as this player shit go. I've been having my way for a long time. So what I'm doing with this channel is I'm gonna show y'all how to get the bitches while still making under 50K a year. But I also wanna let you guys know that the goal is to eventually make more than 50K a year. But with this channel, I'm gonna help y'all still get the hoes, still get the huzzies, and I'm gonna help y'all understand female nature, speaking on it in a way that only I could do. The way that I'm gonna explain these things to y'all, the way that I'm gonna talk to y'all about these things is gonna be in a way that no one else can explain it to y'all, because I am a 34-year-old felon from the Bronx, and I have my own way of talking things. The way that I'm giving y'all this video is based off of my pretty much 20 plus years of experience in regards to dating women, having many different situations and relationships with women. This first video is titled The 5 Kinds of Men That All Women Have and Lie to You About. And the reason why they lie to you about it is because you're too emotional, you're sensitive, and you can't handle the truth about what happens with women. Now, 2 things I want you to understand before I give y'all these top 5, right? The first thing is, you don't have a right to even be upset if this girl is just someone that you're seeing or you're just pursuing. You have a right to feel some type of way if it's your girl though, but I'm telling you, if you have a girlfriend and you're watching this video, she probably has at least 2 or 3 of these men in her back pocket. Also, this video is gonna help you understand what category of man you're in, based off of the details that I give for each man in this archetype section. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, y'all, so the first kind of guy on this list, right? The guy that most men have found themselves in the category of, right? The boyfriend type. I like to also put a sidebar to that as the Captain Save-A-Hoe. Now, the reason why you are a boyfriend in this day and age, especially in 2025, you're the boyfriend because you're the guy who actually decided to be a Captain Save-A-Hoe. This day and age, if you're dealing with a woman, she's 20, 30s plus, right? And you have become her boyfriend, you have to understand that she's not a virgin. And more times than not, she's been ran through. Now, the level of ran through, it differs between which women you talking about, right? But nonetheless, ran through. And what I mean by ran through is, when you're the boyfriend, you have to understand that you're typically not the first choice. It doesn't matter if she dealing with you and she says, I want you to be my boyfriend, I want you. You're not the first choice. Meaning, if you become her boyfriend, you are the Captain Save-A-Hoe, because chances are she was living a promiscuous life, which is why she couldn't have the men she really wanted. But she came across you, you're very nice, you became the boyfriend. You became the Captain Save-A-Hoe. That's number 1. Number 2 on this list is the friend zone guy. The guy who she spends time with, she talks to, she gives attention to, but this is a guy who she will probably never sleep with, okay? Never ever sleep with. And even if he do get the hit, it's gonna be like he been doing so many things to me for so long, I might as well show some mercy and give him the pussy. That's the type of situation that you're in when you're in the friend zone. You almost never hit, or you hit once in a blue moon, right? But at the end of the day, you're friends. This is the kind of woman, other than the boyfriend, that a woman wants to have as many of as much as possible during the course of her life. So watch out for the women who say, I don't like women, I only like guys as friends. It's because she likes the benefits that come from having these guys as friends, right? I suggest you men, if you're dealing with a woman and you're in the friend zone, and you're giving a woman the kind of benefits that I'm about to say she benefits from, give her an ultimatum. Say, yo, listen, I want to be with you. I want to hit. Let her directly tell you no so you can directly just cut her off. Because you playing yourself. And you also going to Captain Save a whole territory. But here's the benefits that a woman gets from the friend zone guy who never gets any benefits as well, right? Benefits are, you are the person who, when she needs her car fixed or she has a tire flattened, you the person who she calls, right? You the person who she calls. If she has issues with another man, you're the person who she calls, right? If she wants a guy just to go out with her, right? You the person who, you go out with her as friends, you paying for food, you paying for her drinks. When she gets into an argument with a man, right? Because she's dressed like a whore, and that man disrespects her because she said something disrespectful to him, you're the person who she looks at. You're expected to fight that man and get your ass kicked or go to jail or worse, defending her honor. The honor of a woman who has no intentions on giving you the pussy ever, right? This is what you put yourself in the line of dealing with, okay? Other benefits, she broke, she need help with her bills. The dude who she fucking, he just hitting, and he's gonna be one of those guys that's later on this list, right? One of the next 3 guys. He just hitting. She either gonna ask him, he gonna say no. She still gonna give him the pussy later, even though she gonna be upset. Or she respect him enough to not even ask him because she got you. So she gonna ask you. And you gonna be the person who, you gonna slaughter that extra 100, 150. If you watching this video right now, you know if you're this guy. And I'm telling you, you playing yourself. Give her an ultimatum. Tell her you want her or you out of there. You out of there, man. Be for real. Other benefits, you in the house fixing shit, putting up curtains, fixing cabinets. These are the things that the friend zone guy gets. But in all due reality, the reason why you playing yourself is because you've tricked yourself into feeling like you in love with this girl and you're gonna wait for her. But in all due reality, you're a cornball because you won't keep it real with yourself. You don't understand yourself. In all due reality, you don't want a girlfriend. You just want the box. So if you're spending all this money, dedicating all this time, I don't think that tricking off and paying for pussy is something that men should be doing. But if you're gonna be wasting all this time, right? Over time, by the time you stop dealing with this girl because she cuts you off when she finds a boyfriend and gets pregnant or gets married and you lose her anyway, you would have spent thousands of dollars entertaining this girl and being in the friend zone. You would just take 40, 100, 150, 250 at one time and pay for a hotter chick and get your nut off that one time instead of being a predator and trying to wait for the bitch. Okay, so next we got the Mr. Goodbar, right? You can also call this the fuck buddy, but I wouldn't call it the fuck buddy because the next man on this list is the man who qualifies more as the fuck buddy for reasons that I'm gonna explain. But the Mr. Goodbar is the guy who she strictly has sex with, she strictly sleeps with, and it's just a sexual thing. They have sexual chemistry and not much else in common. However, the woman still may grow to love this man because he provides a need for her physically that most men do not provide. And also, the man always keeps it real with her and she respects him because he always is who he is. He does not pretend to be anyone else. Now, if you ask me, this is the category that I feel like is one of the best positions for a man to be in, right? One of the best positions for a man to be in. Now, this man has the potential, right? If he decides to be the man that the woman does everything for. But it's a way you gotta do it. Like, it's a way you gotta do it. Most men don't get to that point. Me personally, I find myself in the either fuck buddy or the Mr. Goodbar category quite often. I haven't always been able to transition that into a situation where that woman starts doing whatever I want her to do for me. Like, it's a slippery slope. But at the end of the day, if you're not looking for a girlfriend and all you want is a box in the first place, this is the perfect category for you to be in. Now, details about how this situation works is I've had multiple women over the course of my career, which is a Hall of Fame career, I might add, where I'm the guy who the woman calls when she's like in between niggas, right? Or a woman who she not necessarily looking for a man, but she has needs, they call me. The reason why she calls me is because the boyfriend don't hit it the way she wanted him to hit. Plus, you know, he's a boyfriend. And usually boyfriends, they're simps and they put their girls on a higher pedestal than them, which women ultimately in their nature, they do not like and don't respect, right? And it dries up the pussy, right? The friend zone guy, he ain't never touching the pussy anyway. He's the kind of guy who, when she horny, she might let him eat the pussy, but she not gonna let him crack, right? Then when it comes to the Mr. Goodbar, when she really wants to get a nut off and she really want to get like plowed and she really want to get destroyed, she calls the guy like me. All you guys with boyfriends, right? When your girl cheats on you, she cheats on you with a guy like me, okay? The guy who does not want to cuff her, does not view her as this goddess angel the way you do. All I do is slut her out. Slut her out. I test out her throat, right? I hit from the back. I put my thumb in her booty, right? Similar to that, right? I rub my bald head on the coochie, right? I choke her. I lick her face. I do all the things that she likes. The things that you can't do because it's just not in you. You know what I'm saying? That's for you boyfriend and friend zone types. And it's because you're too nice. Now, it takes a lot of experience and a lot of pain in order to become this kind of person and have this level of sexual experience where you can easily like make a woman come 9.9 times out of 10 every time you sleep with her. This is a feat that most women don't experience and most men can't do. Hence why women, when you go through the statistics, like 60% of them say they never had an orgasm. That's you niggas' fault, right? But the Mr. Goodbar is the guy who, just like me, you'll be sleeping with a woman on and off for 5, 10, even more years than that, for the simple fact that you ain't in her face all the time. But y'all still keep a good rapport. You the low-key dude. You ain't never gonna like make her business hot, you know what I'm saying? And when she need that loving, she call you and you give it to her. That's the Mr. Goodbar. Also, in order to be like a Mr. Goodbar, by the way, there's a YouTuber called Ron Wells. This is where I get the phrase from, Mr. Goodbar, right? I didn't realize what the phrase was, but I always realized that I fit into that category with a lot of women, right? Also, women gotta settle for having you as a Mr. Goodbar, right? Because they know that, you know, as a boyfriend, you just would not work because you are who you are. You're somebody who you live a polygamous lifestyle 9 times out of 10, right? And she like, I can't deal with that. So I'm gonna have my boyfriend, the one that gives me stability, right? The one who I know gonna pay the bills. And when I really wanna get fucked, I'm gonna call dude. And in a lot of situations, that'd be somebody like me. All right, guys, now we have arrived at 4 of the 5 kinds of men every woman has, but she'll never tell you. Number 4 is the romantic best friend. This is the person who, unlike the Mr. Goodbar, she has a lot of chemistry with, but for whatever reason, they can't be together, but she still has a romantic connection to him, right? An emotional connection to him, and she still sleeps with that man. This guy is the number 1 person that is the reason why you cannot allow your bitch to have male best friends or male friends, period. Because any one of these male friends, right, will be the guy who is shaking your hand, he at the family functions, right? You could be so foolish. She like, yo, look, listen, I'm at the mall or I'm wherever, whatever, with whoever dude is. And you like, oh, that's cool, that's her best friend. They have a relationship, they had a situation, they had a friendship before me. All the while, dude is fucking your bitch. This is the slickest person and the most disrespectful person out of the whole group, all right? Because the friend zone guy not touching your girl at all, right? The Mr. Good Bar is somebody who, yeah, he hitting your chick, but you may never meet him, you may never know him. But this guy right here is gonna shake your hand, smile in your face, he gonna put you under the wing, he gonna be like, yo, you're one of my best friends too, right? But he's the guy who, if you fall asleep, and dude is in your house when you fall asleep, he'll fuck your bitch before he leave, okay? The thing about this guy and where the romantic connection comes from is, this guy could be the dude who is your woman's first choice, but he always had another woman and she never had the chance to have him. Maybe he turned her down, whatever, right? But he's the first choice, you're not. Or they were together and they're not together for whatever reason. He got somebody else, she got somebody else, but every now and then they still fucking. This is the biggest op you could possibly have when you dealing with a woman, right? Do not allow your women to have guy friends, because any one of these guys could be number 4. And coming in at number 5 of the 5 kinds of men every woman has in her life but will not tell you, right? The beta male provider. Now, shout out to the Book of Alpharonomy. This is the term that I got from him. If you're watching my videos, chances are you come across his videos first, right? The term comes from him and it perfectly describes several men that I know over the course of my life. I will be giving stories and examples of how these men have utterly fucked themselves over women. A lot of these men are men who, the women that I know in my life, whether I've been dating them or they're my family members, they have dealt with these kinds of men or they're still dealing with these kinds of men. The beta male provider is the biggest sucker out of everyone on the list, okay? The beta male provider he's in a situation where every time he even talks to this woman, it's transaction. She will not talk to him unless she's asking for something. If he doesn't send exactly what she wants, she won't talk to him. And he's so much of a masochist, so much of a sucker, he can't stand the fact that she won't talk to him. And he's kind of a predator, I say, because his whole thing is, I'm gonna spend this money and then I can get what I want, right? But the thing that he doesn't understand is that the woman never wants to fuck him. She almost never does, and when she does, it's strictly transactional. She does not enjoy fucking him. She doesn't take pleasure in making him get off, and she's doing whatever she can to make him come as soon as possible so she can leave. You don't get passionate kisses. You will never know how it feels to truly be desired by a woman, which is another video that I'm gonna make in the future. This is someone who's just an overall just like sucker. And these are people who you can't trust, because I believe that a man who becomes a beta male provider and he don't get laid like that and it's all transactional, he's the type to try to talk to a underage girl and then try to pay her money to keep her mouth shut. He's the type of person to, if he's a beta male provider for an older woman, he'll do what I just said or try to do what I just said with that woman's daughter, which is a real life situation that I've come across and I've heard about, right? From women in my family and just seeing on the internet. This is the biggest sucker. Like, these people, a lot of these guys are fat, they old, they washed up. This is the number one guy that you don't want to be like. It's better for you to be the boyfriend. It's better to be in the friend zone. At least you have some dignity. At least you saving some money. But like I said, those are the 5 kinds of men every woman has in her life but won't tell you about it because you're emotional and you would act like a bitch and you can't handle the truth. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Hear my baby mama getting on my last name.